So once they came in, we had asked what the problem was, who they were, because there was no way to identify them. And they said that they were from the EFCC and that they had come to invite His Excellency to the EFCC quarters. We, of course, further on asked if they had any letter of invitation, any warrant of arrest, any search warrant, any document at all to show why they were here. And they said that no, they didn't have anything of that sort, that it was just an invitation and that they promised it wasn't going to take too long. And of course, looking at that scenario, coming with a lot of these men, the way that they forcefully came into the compound, we then called for our lawyer, the Learned Sil Olanipekun, to come to the residence. As soon as he got there, he reached out to them, asking them why they have come to His Excellency's residence and what the problem was. They repeated the same thing, that it wasn't a problem, that they had just come to invite His Excellency, that some of the top operatives of the EFCC just wanted to have a talk with His Excellency. And then he asked that had they initially called His Excellency, they said no. He further on asked if they had any search warrant, any paper, they said no. Then His Excellency, he came back, and of course I was in the living room at the point with His Excellency when the Learned Sil informed His Excellency that this was the situation. So His Excellency said, okay, I don't have a problem with that. However, I am preparing for a screening today. Can they let me go for this screening? As soon as I come back, I will honor their invitation. And of course, they refused and, in fact, told the SAN that they had been instructed to bring him at all costs to the headquarters. And looking at the whole scenario, it became questionable. Further on, they gave an ultimatum of an hour, 30 minutes, that if His Excellency did not voluntarily come into their vehicle to leave, that they were going to forcefully come into the house. And of course, at this point, we thought it was remotely impossible to do that because in a civil society, for you to barge into any residence, you must have a search warrant or any document. And at this time, note that we had a lot of media representatives who were there, ranging from Arise News, AIT channels, and they did ask them at that point for any documentation, and they said they didn't have any. Just to tidy up the story anyway, the next thing we saw, they shot tear gas canisters at people who were there. They started shooting sporadically at the house. In fact, my younger brother, Amen, who was there, they had beaten him up. The video, it's caught on tape. And the next thing, they broke through the bulletproof door with a big chunk of woods. I don't know where they got that from. And then came in through the roof to pick up His Excellency.